The latest 7-star Tera Raid has been announced in Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. It's our second Psychic Tera 7-star Tera Raid, coming all the way from the Johto region, the often overlooked 7-star Meganium. Welcome back to another DanSquared video, you Danimals. If it's your first time watching one of my videos, nice to meet you. My name is Sundan and I am a Tera Raid expert. I was really worried that 7-star Sceptile was gonna get announced tonight. Why worried? Well, Sceptile is my favorite Pokemon, and this weekend is going to be the first Tera Raid since March of 2023 that I will not be live streaming as soon as it drops, and I will not be dropping a build video on night number 1. Why not? Because I'm going to be going on a trip with my dad, one of my sisters, and her husband to celebrate her birthday. So Danimals, join me in wishing my sister Allie a happy birthday in the comments. Make sure to join the DanSquared Discord so you can do Tera Raids with the Danimals even while I am away. But don't worry, you are going to be fine. This preview is going to make sure that you're going to kick butt this weekend even without me. I'll be back up to my usual Tera Raid shenanigans starting on Sunday, April 7th. But now, before we talk about how we're going to beat Meganium, we need to talk a little bit more about Meganium itself. Meganium is the second 7-star Tera Raid to have a Psychic typing. Of course, the first being 7-star Mewtwo. Meganium should scare us a lot less than Mewtwo. Let's just get right into this Meganium slander. It's not one of my favorite starter Pokemon. I like the design of Bayleaf. I don't really like the design of Meganium, so it is what it is. Stats-wise, it's fine. It's like your typical starter stats. It has good enough defense and special bulk, so very nice. Its hidden ability, Leaf Guard, protects it from status conditions if there is harsh sunlight. So Meganium could definitely use sunlight to its advantage. It could also use a move like Solar Beam or Solar Blade. One thing that can make Meganium somewhat tricky is it's not very much so obvious whether it's going to be a physical attacker or a special attacker. It feels like it's going to be a mixed attacker. Mixed attackers in 7-star Tera Raids tend to be a little more difficult because we can't just use something like Struggle Bug to debuff its special attack all the way down, because even if we do that, it can still use physical attacking moves. I am 99.9% sure it's going to have at least one physical attacking move, and that move being Zen Headbutt. Why? Because that is the only psychic move that Meganium gets. If it doesn't have Zen Headbutt, then it would only have Terra Blast as its psychic stab. For its Grass Stab, Meganium has a ton of moves to pull from. I don't know what it'll have, maybe something useful like Giga Drain or just a strong move like Venusaur had with Petal Blizzard. Meganium's coverage moves are where it just falls really flat. A Psychic-type Pokemon receives super effective damage from the following 3 types: Bug, Dark, and Ghost typing. Meganium doesn't really have any solid answers to any of those 3 types. It technically could get Knockoff to check Ghost-type Pokemon, and Knockoff would not make us lose our items in Tera Raids, but it might double that base power from 65 to 130. Please let me know in the comments if you know exactly how Knockoff works in Tera Raids. One coverage move that I am afraid of Meganium having is Weather Ball. I'm afraid of that because that would give it coverage for Steel-type Pokemon. And I know what you're thinking. Why Steel-type Pokemon? Well, that's because Steel-type Pokemon resist Meganium's Grass and Psychic-type attacks. So defensively, Steel-type Pokemon are a great choice. If Meganium can hit us for super effective damage with Weather Ball, that would be bad for business. So I definitely want to bring in some weather control, as you'll see later in the video. Lastly, Meganium does get some solid status moves that it could use. It gets Mud Slap, Swords Dance, and Fake Tears. It's just a matter of what can they really give this thing to make it difficult or more of a challenge. I think it'll be one of the 7-star Tera Raids that will start with its shields up because Meganium just doesn't have a lot going for it. But again, I do love that what it could insinuate. Does Meganium being the first Tera Raid post Pokemon Day mean anything for its status as a potential starter in Pokemon Legends Z to A? I don't know, but I'm putting on my tinfoil hat. So now we know what we're up against. Let's take a look at 4 builds that you can use to take down Meganium in group raids or maybe even solo raids. Here's a high-level overview of 4 builds that you can use to get the win in online group raids for 7-star Meganium. They may work in solos, but I'm not sure yet. It's a little harder to guess what's going to work in solos until the raid starts. But for now, here's a mix of some options. We have the Mew, which is going to be reused from the 7-star Mewtwo Tera Raids. It's tried, it's true, it's terrific. Then we have a Tera Dark with Kingambit, a Tera Ghost with Gholdengo, and another Tera Bug with Scizor. Let's get into each of these builds. What better build to start with than the build that took down the first 7-star Tera Raid that was Tera Psychic? If you did the Mewtwo Tera Raids back in September 2023, you probably still have one of these laying around. It's going to be Tera-type Bug, and use the Metronome held item. For its EVs, we're going to go with max HP EVs, max attack EVs, and the final 4 in special defense. So long story short, I'm going with HP EVs because I think Meganium is going to be a mixed attacker, but I don't want to invest fully into defense or special defense until the Tera Raid starts. The ability Synchronize is always really useful. If Meganium wants to inflict us with any status conditions, we'll be able to reflect it right back at it. Leech Life is the key to this build. It deals tremendous bug-type damage and restores 50% of the damage we deal as HP. Swords Dance powers up Leech Life. Again, this is a really familiar combo to you if you took down 7-star Mewtwo. And just a reminder, I was the first creator to popularize it. Not that that matters, but yeah, good job, Danimals. Good job, Danimals. Then we have Lunge to lower Meganium's attack, and Struggle Bug to lower Meganium's special attack. So depending on which one we're scared of, or maybe we want to lower both, we have our options with Lunge and Struggle Bug. Next up is the lone Tera Dark representative on this list. It is Tera Dark Kingambit. It's going to use the Shell Bell held item for some recovery. It has max attack EVs, max HP EVs, and the final 4 in special defense. It has max IVs in all of its stats, except for special attack and an adamant nature to further raise its attack while lowering its special attack, giving it a robust attack of 405. The ability Defiant is one of the keys to this build. If Meganium wants to use something like Mud Slap or Fake Tears to lower our stats, we'll be able to sharply raise our attack every time any of our stats are debuffed. This will power up our main attacking move, Kowtow Cleave. It sounds cool and it never misses, so love it. Swords Dance also going to power up Kowtow Cleave. If Defiant doesn't get us to +6, Swords Dance will do the trick. We have Snarl in case Meganium wants to use some special attacking moves. We'll use Snarl to charge our Terra Orb if this is the case. We have our Weather Control with Rain Dance. Just in case there's any Weather Ball shenanigans, or we want to get rid of the sun, we can make it rain on Meganium. Kingambit's typing makes it an excellent choice. Being a Dark-type Pokemon, it is immune to Meganium's Psychic-type attacks, and its Steel typing allows us to resist Meganium's Grass Stab moves. Here we have the second of the 2 Tera Bug counters. It is Tera Bug Scizor. This build also uses the Shell Bell held item for some recovery. Scizor's typing makes it an incredible choice for this raid because it has a ×4 resistance to Meganium's Grass-type attacks, and it resists Meganium's Psychic-type attacks. We just will be worried about any Weather Ball shenanigans, but luckily, as you'll see later, we have Rain Dance. This build has max attack EVs, max HP EVs, and the final 4 in special defense should be familiar. Again, an adamant nature, we want to raise the attack, max IVs, and everything but special attack. It's a physical attacking build. The ability Swarm can allow us to do 50% extra damage if Scizor is at a 33% of its HP or lower. So if we're down in HP, we're going to pack an even stronger punch. Unfortunately, unlike our Mew, we don't have access to Leech Life. Please give Scizor Leech Life, that would make him incredible. But we do have Lunge and Skitter Smack. So again, with like Lunge and Struggle Bug with Mew, does the same kind of combo. Because Lunge lowers attack, Skitter Smack lowers special attack. You could use Struggle Bug if you don't like missing things, but I opted for the little extra damage with Scizor, but then not missing with Mew. It's dealer's choice, splitting hairs at that point. We have Swords Dance to power up both of those attacking moves, and I'm bringing in the Rain Dance because I want to be safe. Again, I'm making this video before it comes out. Maybe there is no Weather Ball, but I don't want to get burned by Weather Ball. Pun intended, because it's Fire type. Last but not least, the trend continues of Steel-type counters to use against Meganium. It is Tera Ghost Gholdengo. It's also going to use the Shell Bell held item for some recovery. It is the lone special attacker on this list of 4 Pokemon, so it's going to have max special attacking EVs, max HP EVs, and the final 4 in special defense. It's going to have a modest nature, opposite of those adamant natures from before, to increase its special attack while lowering its attack. Max IVs and everything but attack. The ability Good as Gold, incredibly strong, but in Tera Raids, it can almost hurt you sometimes because you aren't affected by the buffs from your allies. Like, if your Tera Raid ally uses Life Dew, Good as Gold makes you immune from Life Dew, so it's kind of, Gholdengo's interesting. It's really strong, but Good as Gold is definitely weird. For our attacking moves, we're going to go with Shadow Ball, keep it simple, you know. It's among the strongest ghost type moves. It has a 10% chance to lower the target's special defense. We like that. We can also lower its special defense by 2 stages with Metal Sounds. Then we can power our special attack up by 2 stages with Nasty Plots. So again, this thing is going to hit like a ton of bricks. It's going to be a great group build attacker. The 4th move for now, it's Substitute. I didn't know what else to put as a 4th move. We don't really need a 4th move here, but at least Substitute protects us from critical hits, I guess. We could end up using something like Reflect if we wanted to, but again, it's up to you. I think Gholdengo is just going to do so much damage that we really won't have to worry about too much against Meganium. Let me know in the comments what Pokemon you are building to take down 7-star Meganium, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider dropping a like, leaving a comment, or using Shadow Ball on that subscribe button for more DanSquared. Thanks for watching and happy Meganium season!